Quote, there's no deal until there's a deal. Joining me now.
Good evening and welcome to my live stream. Tonight, you're joining me, fight CPS and stop taking our children. That's right, you heard me, fight CPS. I call CPS the Child Protection System. It's a government that was started in 62 that got to all the states had a system by 74. It took a long step to wreck. Now, someone asked me earlier this morning, who was the first person with child abuse? Well, I did some research, and there's a boy in the early 1600s in colonial days that was worked too hard, and there was an investigation of child abuse. It's been going on so long. There's a lady too that happened about 1872. And in 1875 was the high societies. So the first part of CPS started in the colonial days to 1875. Then from 1875 to 62 was what they call the second time of history. Now, the landmark case that they're referring to is called Mary Ellen Wilson, and she was severely abused in foster care. And about that time, the New York Society for Prevention of Cruelty to Children was started in 1875. It came from the same people that had the Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals. Animals was discovered first before children. And it was done by the High Society in New York because we had children running amok in the New York. It wasn't to 1962 when it started. It wasn't to 1974 when the Prevention for Child Abuse and Treatment Act called CAPA. And so it was then that we had all the states that had protection. Now, there was the Social Security Act of 1935 that authorized federal grants for child welfare services. That's where we started to have social services. But every year, more and more services are, it's amazing that the development of the child protection system is still in its early heydays. It still is. The problem that most of you are facing, that I faced, was dealing with a rogue entity, meaning this entity was corrupt. And when they're corrupt, there's no chance. Now, we had some people drop in, and I'm glad to see them. This is an interactive podcast. And we have the guy with multiple hats. He has like maybe 25 Facebook and 25 YouTubes. Welcome there. I know you're from LA, and you do talk nicely about everybody, and that's really great. But we're here to talk about the child protection services. Now, Celie de la Cruz is from Riverside, California. Had a rude worker. I'm so sorry to hear about that. So he started off with a hello. I have no idea where he's located, but maybe he lives in Riverside, California. And you showed up again to the visit, and my worker had left, and the kids weren't there. I don't know why your worker left, but my worker is so rude. I'll believe that. I just stay quiet when she likes that. This woman signed a release for with my name. Um, okay, Celia de la Cruz, I'm assuming you're from San Bernardino County. If you could tell your story completely instead of bits and pieces and leave us on edge. Now, we have somebody else in this room that I've had before. We've had Project Storm, and she calls me Papa Butter, but she's actually Anna. She's Anna from Lynchburg, Virginia, that was born in Florida. And she finally got to see her son today. I'm so glad you did. I threw him a mini baby party, but he turned 11 on August 12th. My daughter didn't want to come though because still type okay because. So Anna, who is Project Storm, she didn't come, and the alienator abuser monsters let her, and so did the supervisor visit place too. It's not because of me, it's because she manipulated because of the parent alienation, which is wrong. I'm sorry to hear that. Anna, I'm sorry to hear that. Nobody can tell me why she didn't want to come, so zero legit reasons at all. I'm so sick of the parenting alienation, so diabolical. I agree with you, Anna. I agree with you. Now, this is Anna from Lynchburg, Virginia, who I guess has another account. I think it's an AO account called Project Storm. Is that you, Anna, from Lynchburg, Virginia, who grew up in Florida? And Dela Cruz, are you new or have you been on before underneath a different other name? Anyway, when you guys are interacting with this live stream, what I'd like you to do is to certain things like when you're going to text me a message, that you include your first name, your city, or your county and state. You don't have to put your country because that's for people outside of the USA. They put their country. Also, please tell me about your CPS case from the beginning to the end. So that's up there on the screen. So that's the first way that you can interact with the live stream here. Yep, this is Anna, who once was a foster kid in Florida, who aged out, and she has problems there. And here we have Aaron from Tennessee. Welcome, Aaron. So glad to see you. I'm so glad to see my family here. I missed you guys. Tonight looks like we got some people coming in. So that is good. I'm glad to hear that. I'm really glad to hear that. So we have Aaron from Tennessee. We have Project Storm, who's Anna. And she's a mother now, but has a problem with CPS. And as a child, she was in foster care in Florida. She lives in Virginia now, Lynchburg, Virginia. And we have somebody new. I don't remember I ever talked to you, Celia Daly Cruz, but I assume you're in San Bernardino, and it sounds like a big mess you got there. So if you want to tell me further, that'd be great. That'd be great. Okay, besides texting me a message, another way you can interact is to go on my live stream. That's where you put on my live screen with your picture up there and you can talk during the live stream. And I can take 9 of you. So sometimes it's hard to get a phone call in because I can only talk to one person on the phone. But I can talk to 9 of you. I can talk 9 of you on here. So that's not too bad. Anyway, to be on there, you just contact my show producer. Her email's up there on the screen. You just need to tell the time. Now I'm on 14 times a week, twice a day. Once at 10 o'clock in the morning, Monday through Friday, and 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday and Sunday. Then in the evening, I'm on at 7 p.m. every night of the week. Those times are in Pacific Standard Time. I'm on the west coast of California, south of LA, in Surf City, USA, 3 blocks from the beach. But I'm here because I like to help you with your CPS. I too have had experience. I've been fighting CPS for 15 years. And I was in the same boat you guys were because I knew nothing about CPS and what they did to me. They did a lot to me. In the beginning, it was hard because I lost my forever job through no fault of my own and had to deal with that. So we as a family had to go on a Spartan lifestyle. Then the lay person, who was my in laws, my wife's mother and father, and three sisters and brothers, would call once a week. They were trying to determine to break our family up. They never liked us from the beginning. They never came to our daughter's wedding or me there. And they certainly didn't come out to see us that often. But as soon as they heard that I'd lost my job, they're jumping in to jump ship. They wanted our children. They're beautiful. Also, people know if you take children that they will pay you money. That's the sad part. That is the sad part. Also, if you have access to Social Security, they try to take that too. So, as a guest, please send that over to Grace. She'll send you a link. We use SteamYard as a software application which uses YouTube. It's not scary at all. It's a quick way to discuss and talk about your case with me. So try to be a guest. There's no charge for doing that. I'd love to have you on there. Just have to email my show producer. Now, the last way you interact with this live stream is to call in. Now, the call in, oh, geez. My number is 626 698 0990. And you can call in right now and talk to me live. And I'll help you with your case. I've helped numerous people. I've talked to over 2,500 people from around the world, from Indonesia to Bangladesh to India, then up to the Middle East to Saudi Arabia and Liberia, not Liberia, Libya, and then to the continent of Africa, where I talked to Liberia and Sudan and the Republic of Congo, also Rwanda, Mozambique, and the provinces of South Africa. Then up to Europe, it's been United Kingdom, England, Scotland, Wales, and then Denmark and Sweden. Then across the pond to North America, it's been Canada and its provinces. And all the way down to South America. Now, the reason why I include the people from other countries is because they got internet, they hear my show, and why not? They need help just as much as you guys do. And they're good people. I have a mother, Leica, who's 40 years old, that had lost her child because her boyfriend was a predator. So that was bad. But anyway, my number's up, and I love to talk to you. Aaron says hi to Anna. And then the Project Storm, which is Anna, says if you had a separate device or laptop or something, you could do a Zoom meeting with multiple people to at the same time. Yes, I've done Zoom meetings, and yes, you can. But I didn't purchase the SteamYard software. See, I'm not the owner of the SteamYard. With Zoom, I have a free account, but SteamYard doesn't give you a free account. We have to share it. And it's an investment that my attorney made to help people out there with their CPS case. And yes, I'll look at all streams of devices of getting help or working with you guys. No question about that. I don't know if we need a separate device or laptop. Anybody who has a laptop can do SteamYard or can do Zoom. You don't need a separate device. And Project Storm, which is Aaron, said, hello, Aaron. Now we have Celie De La Cruz. Hi, I'm Seeli. I'm from a rural area in Michigan near Canada. Wow. But you said Riverside. I'm confused. Early on, you said Riverside, California. Um, hmm. You have a Riverside case. How is that up in Michigan near Canada? Did you move from Riverside? Okay, you're indigenous and you're an advocate for Native and Indigenous people. I wanted to further my education in social work. Well, I'm so glad to meet you. I don't know what tribe you are, but you should be familiar with the Indian Child Welfare Act of 1978. It's an act that helps families with Indian children, and the children are placed in Indian family to get better reunification. So you should know that 1970 Act um, of the Indian Welfare Act. You really should know that. That's really important. Now, Aaron says, Anna, I started following your pages. Oh, I'm so glad. We have people watching each one another. And Celie says, let me see what she says. There's a lot of openings in RSC in LA County. I came to train. Are you a social worker? I'm really confused what you are. What does RSC stand for? And who isn't following anything? I'm confused. I wish you'd call in, Seely. I wish you would. Who is they won't follow anything? You're talking about the safety plan? Are you a social worker, Seely? Are you a parent that has a CPS matter? And how's Michigan result to Riverside? I don't understand the connection. Riverside, California is a far place from Michigan, especially if you're on the Canada border. So when you say the word they, I don't know what you mean by there. And what do you mean lots of openings in RSC? What is that? The Royal something something? I'm just guessing. Okay, I guess he's correct. He's correct himself. He's not in Michigan or on the Canadian border. He's in Riverside County. I was training during my intake for resilience nonprofit. I have no idea what that is. So you're doing training in Riverside County or are you up in Michigan? I came to California for education purposes and I ended getting my kids taken away. Wow. So did you come from Canada, from Michigan, and you came to California and they were taken away? What were you charged with? What were you charged with, Sheila? Mm. What were you charged with? Oh, you're originally from Michigan, and then you moved to Riverside, California. But what does San Bernardino got to do with Riverside? Riverside and San Bernardino have their own CPS agencies. So I'm trying to understand and help you there. Okay, the allegations of failure to protect. All right, what were you trying to? What were they in danger for? What kind of protection did you need to provide? Okay, let me see here. So we're bouncing from Riverside County to San Bernardino County from Michigan near the Canadian border. I was attacked by a random woman trying to take my car. Oh boy. I'm so sorry you were attacked. Are you okay? I was at a gas station. And go on. Can you call in? This is going to take too long. My phone number is 626-698-0990. And you can call in on your phone, then we can hear about it instead of playing ping pong ball, which I'm not against, but this takes too long. Okay. We're talking to Sheila, who says they're from Riverside, but San Bernardino. They're in the gas station. So maybe the gas station was in San Bernardino. And how does woman attack? What did she try to do to your car? The Riverside and San Bernardino are really far out in the sticks. They're not really a safe area. So you're going to encounter all kinds of bad people. Okay, here we go. We got someone calling in tonight. I'm so happy. Um,
Hello, this is Sunny.
Sonny, glad to meet you. And Sonny, have you been on my live stream before? Have you talked to me before?
I have not.
Oh, well, welcome, Sonny. And what part of the world are you from?
I was just talking to you. I am originally from Michigan, and I came to California here in California for educational purposes.
Oh, okay. Well, hold on a second, Sonny, because you said you were Celia. I saw nothing about Sonny, so that's why I was
No, it's
surprised.
Shelly. It's just Shelly. Celi.
So it's Shelly. I'm pronouncing it wrong. Shelly. And
Yeah,
so,
it's
hi,
okay.
Shelly. Glad to meet you and a warm
Hi.
welcome. Now, you were living in Michigan, close to the Canadian border, and you decided to come
Yep.
to, was it Riverside or San Bernardino?
No, I originally came to Los Angeles, but my friend was like, "Hey, there's like spots that are open like right now. You don't even have to wait to get everything done, and that's to do intake services for domestic violence."
Okay, stop
Victims.
right there for a second. What do you mean the cases? So I don't understand. If you're up in Michigan, why are they doing a case down in Riverside or San Bernardino?
Well, because that's where it happened. It happened in Lake Elsinore.
Okay, so you had a CPS case that happened to you in Lake Elsinore. Okay, now is
Yeah, which is
Lake
in Riverside.
Lake Elsinore is in Riverside. So what does San Bernardino have to do with Riverside?
Well, I believe that was like a misspell. It's probably just like it's a weird phone. So sorry, it thinks for itself.
Well, no. Riverside and San Bernardino are two separate CPS entities, and both of them are
Oh, I don't
corrupt.
have a case. I don't have a case in San Bernardino though. It's just
Oh,
Riverside.
okay. And then what is
So it was probably just
RCS?
a
What is
misspell.
RCS?
Riverside County.
Riverside. I never seen it that way before. I thought it'd be RC, but Riverside
Oh
County.
no.
Okay. Okay, RSC.
Sorry,
So
it's not the best phone.
no, it's okay. I'm learning all these new shortcut words, Celia. Now my question is, you were at a gas station. Now what happened at the gas station? This lady attacked you?
I pulled in there. I had just picked my kids up from their grandpa's house, and I pulled into the gas station, and I mean, it was only like seconds that I was out of the car, and this woman had came up and she was like asked if I had any dope, and I'm like, no, I don't do any dope, and I need you to step back, please, because she came at me very aggressively. So I just asked her to please step back. That my children are in the car.
Yeah, that's a red flag that you deal with somebody on drugs and they're trying to go to
Yeah.
gas stations to
So
get people. And you got to look at avenues because they could be working with somebody in the area. And the first
yeah,
thoughts to
I
your
was
mind,
talking
you
God.
should call 911, not the police, but 911, and tell them that you're
Oh,
being accosted
yeah.
by a strange woman demanding demanding things and you don't feel good for your safety. They in turn will record it
Yeah, I mean,
and
I
they'll
was
get a
trying to
hold of
hunt her down,
police.
but she did walk away from me for a minute.
Mm.
She did walk away from me like for a minute, but then I don't know, she was talking, screaming at somebody, and they took off. And then all of a sudden she just came back. She was back with a quickness, and that's when she started hitting me and trying to get in my car.
Now, did she say anything before she hit you, or why would she hit you?
I'm going to be honest with you. She didn't look well. She looked like something was really wrong with her.
Did you think about calling 911?
I sure did. Yes, I actually called out to the clerk that was there watching. He was smoking a cigarette and watching everything that was going on. And I screamed to him when she had drugged me down to the ground if he could please call 911. Please call. I said, my children are in the car. Please help me. And he just sat there and smoked his cigarette. And so I finally overthrew this lady who's much bigger than me. And I ended up smashing her hands in the door to try to get away from her, and I kicked her face just to get her away from me. I just needed to get her away from me. So she tried to open the door again, and I took off in the car, and I called 911 at there's a Taco Bell, like a kitty corner from there. So I pulled in there, and I called 911 and told them what happened, and that I left the gas station, and then she was asking if I had been stabbed or hurt or anything like that, because the woman did have some a box cutter in her hand, wanting to come at me with it.
Oh boy.
Yeah. So, and this is 3 months after the Walmart. No, 2 months after the Walmart incident in Elsinore when the woman was stabbed to death. So
I have no idea about the Elsinore Walmart incident. That was new. I did not know that. Were you were you involved in that one there? Were you involved in that one there?
Thing that came to my head. No. No, it came straight to my head as soon as I seen that lady with the sharp object in her hand.
Was that in San Bernardino or Riverside, the Walmart?
No, it was in Elsinore, Riverside County.
Riverside County. Okay, Riverside County. It's going to tell me the case, so I can catch up with you.
Yeah. So during that time, I called 911 and I told her I didn't feel comfortable sitting at Taco Bell for much longer because the cops are going to come right away. I don't want this lady to come across and see my car right there. I have a very noticeable car. So she said, could I go drive to the Lake Elsinore police station or somewhere closer to the police station? And I said, yes. So I did that, and I drove right by the lake, which there is a police station on the other side. So I did that. I parked, and I waited for a police officer to come, and nobody ever came. So,
really?
after an hour of waiting, yeah, nobody came. I called twice, and they said that they were coming.
That was 911.
Yes, 911, and then she said there's an officer there's a sheriff's deputy that will be there to meet you. They're going to be meeting you right there by the lake. There's no other parking, so they couldn't have rode past me.
Yeah.
So, yeah, we waited there, and so after a while, I called back again, and she said, are you in immediate danger? This other lady answered, and she said, if you're not in immediate danger, then call this number, which is I guess like a non-emergency line. So
Now, are you talking about the person that was stabbed at Lake Elsinore?
Me?
Well, it says there's a Walmart man for murder of a 65-year-old.
That happened just 2 months before my attack, and it literally made my mind think I don't want to be a victim like that. I don't want someone to stab me to death right here.
Well, it says Lonnie Will Hilton, 29, was arrested earlier this week for allegedly killing Jessica Morales at 65, apparent random attack. Is that the case we're talking about?
Yes, that's what I was talking about. That happened 2 months before my attack happened, because that's what I thought. I immediately thought of oh my God, this is a random attack, and this person has a sharp object in her hand and is stabbing me with it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't blame you. Yeah, my
thing was just to get out of there, just to get away from her. But so when I went to the police station, it was closed. Nobody was answering. There was a unmarked vehicle in the police parking area.
Mm-hmm.
But I was just waiting there on the bench, and then I waited for a little bit longer, and I called another police station. I swear, I'm does no one answer the phone here?
Well, what did 911 do for you? They're the ones who are supposed to call the police.
They told me to get to a safe spot, and the sheriff's deputy would be on his way.
Well, 911 is where you should call, because sometimes police are corrupt and CPS are corrupt.
Yeah,
so
I did. I called 911. So it's recorded that I called 911. It's recorded that I was scared. It's recorded. All those things are recorded. When I was at the police station, parked there, I went to go back to my car, and a police officer, unmarked car, drove by really slow, and I kind of seen him that he was the police officer, so I waved at him hey, I'm right here, if that's who you're looking for. And so he just kept driving, and I'm that's really weird. So I didn't know what to do, and I got back in my car with my kids, and so we drove out, and I was going to go to my uncle's, which is maybe 3 blocks up. He has a tow company.
Where was the stabber person?
I don't know what to do.
Where was the person that did the stabbing? Where was that person?
Oh no, I wasn't involved with the stabbing. No, it just reminded me of the stabbing that happened 2 months before.
Well, did that person follow you when you got back in your car?
What was that?
Did that person follow you when you got back in the car?
No, I was just hoping that they wouldn't, and that's why I wanted to not be standing outside, to
right.
My car to take me to happen.
Right.
So the police officer, unmarked vehicle, whatever it was, when I drove out, he blocked me in with another vehicle, and then this guy came out with regular clothes on and a mask and told me to get on the ground and out of my car and put my hands up. I was very confused and very scared. He said something about some kind of visa or something. I'm American. I'm not from another country.
Right.
So he assumed I was. So I don't know why he assumed that, but he just assumed that. And the man who initially told me to get out, his name is Jack Snyder. I don't know that he's a police officer. I think he's a bounty hunter.
Did he have a badge?
No.
Had no identification? Bounty hunters wear a chain around their neck with their badge, their ID.
No, I did not see that. No, but the officer that he was with had a badge and all that stuff. But he
Okay.
didn't have anything.
But they didn't want to help
Yeah.
you. They didn't want to help you?
No, I kept telling him I'm American. And I didn't do anything wrong. I called 911 and I was waiting for you guys. And he said something about me having a warrant in Nebraska. I'm not from Nebraska, and I don't know anything about Nebraska.
What,
So,
you have a warrant in Nebraska?
that's what he told me, that I had a warrant in Nebraska, and I've never even been to Nebraska.
Okay, okay. There's always miscommunication, miss things in there. And one thing
Yeah,
about,
there's a lot of these things. I'm very confused myself still.
okay, how come CPS got involved? How were the kids endangered?
Because when we went to the police station, because he said we're gonna settle this, we're gonna settle this information or whatever out. So like, it put me in an interrogation room, separated me from my children, and he started asking me a bunch of questions about people I didn't know and places I've never been. And he asked if I was he asked if I was an activist connected to some group, and I didn't know what he was talking about. I told him I'm from all the way like in Michigan, like the Canadian border. I don't know what you're talking about. So he wanted me to sign a paper. I told him I wasn't going to sign any papers without having a lawyer present with me, and he started to get really angry that I wouldn't sign the paper, and he told me if I didn't sign the paper, then I won't see my kids again, and he'll make sure of it.
Okay.
So I didn't sign the paper. I'm not going to sign any papers. I don't know what they're for, and he's not really like letting me read through the paper. He's just sort of holding it in his hand. So at this point, I was just really scared, and I just wanted to see my kids. I just wanted to be with my kids. And he had walked out really, really angry. And another deputy came in and asked me what happened. And I told him what happened, just word for word, exactly the truth, what happened. And he said that he was going to talk to, Agent Snyder and see what he can do about getting me, so I could go home. But that didn't happen. I stayed in that room for another 2 hours, and I had to go to the bathroom. I needed water. Nobody was doing anything. I wanted to know where my kids were, and I was just really scared. And it was probably about a 2-hour period or so, and another officer came in, a really big guy, and he's like, "Hey, I'm here to transport you." And I was like, "Well, where's my kids?" And he's like, "I don't know. You have kids?" I'm like, "Yeah, I have kids." And he's like, "Well, nobody told me about kids. I just said I needed to pick you up and transport you." I'm like, "Where are you transporting me to?" And he's like, "Wait, what's your name?" And I told him my name, and then he's like, hold on. And then he closes the door, and then he's gone for another 30 minutes, and then comes back and tells me that I'm arrested.
Okay, go on.
So, he told me I'm arrested. He was also very confused because I guess this officer only transports like murderers and big time kind of gang people from different countries and stuff. So he was like, "You don't seem hostile. I don't understand why I'm transporting you."
Well, first of all, did you have proper identification?
Yes. I have all
Did
that.
did you have
always on me.
identification for your children?
Yes, always.
So with proper identification, you cannot help yourself get out of the situation when you're calling that you're being attacked?
No, this is the thing, is that he wouldn't give me my purse. The Snyder guy would not give me my purse. I'm like, "Why are you taking my purse?" He said it's for evidence. I'm like, "Why would you take my purse for evidence? What does that have to do with anything?"
Or maybe they want to put drugs in your purse.
Well, I don't do drugs, and I don't.
No, but they
have
want
a
to set you up. They want to set you up.
Yeah, it feels like it's up to me because I just don't understand why they would take my kids, and I also have family members, that live literally 3 blocks away. Why would you take my children? So I didn't get a phone call for 2 days, and this lady, they brought me to 2 different jails. So luckily, this lady gave me a chance. She was like, just give me the number that you need, and I'll call, and I'll get you out of here so your family will know where you're at, and they'll come and get you. Because they kept, like, kept me in this cell, and I would only come out to go walk around one side of the red tape thing, and then we would go back on the other side, and then they would put me back in again, but not let me use the phone.
Okay.
So I really just didn't understand why I couldn't use the phone. I mean, this is like over 36 hours, I can't use the phone. After I get filled out, they waited until the last minute for me to get found out. And when I was standing there, the officer said, "It looks like your ride left you." And I was like, "Oh, no, they're coming back. I'm sure they are." And he's like, "Well, don't even get any ideas about walking off this property." It was in Banning, a place called Banning. He told me, if you walk off this property, it's illegal. And then, we could just turn around and get you right back in here. I was really scared. So after that, I found out that my kids were taken away by the CPS.
Why were the kids taken away by CPS? How they were in danger?
I don't know. They just said I failed to protect them. I don't understand. I didn't do anything. I just defended myself and tried to, well, the best I could anyway. I mean, and, I tried to protect the lady, from trying to get in the door. It's all on camera. It's at the gas station.
Okay. So,
I finally obtained a copy of the police report, which says that Snyder, once again, had said that I told him I don't have nowhere to bring my kids, and I don't know anybody that will take them. Why would I do something like that? My aunt and uncle live right down the road. So it just doesn't make any sense. He said that I was also telling him that I was going to, off-boost this lady, and that she had came up to my car and disrespected me, and I'm in a gang. I'm not in a gang. That's insane.
okay, did you have tattoos?
Yeah, I have a tattoo of a ship.
Well, see,
Like
people,
the
the police are thinking you're a gang because you have tattoos, because only gangs wear tattoos. But today, everybody wears tattoos, so they make an assumption which is wrong.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know how that would be in a gang, though. I mean, it's a very, very
Yeah, I know.
ship with flowers. So, I mean, maybe they did think that. I don't know. I certainly don't think I look like a gang member, but.
Well, sometimes police are like that,
Yeah. I mean, this has happened, I guess, to several people in that general area, where either people have gotten mixed up, just getting attacked, and their kids taken, like a child's taken away, or a couple children are taken away. So I don't know if that's some sort of trap that they got going on there, or what, because this I mean, I've heard of this already like 4 times. Something similar, and in the same area.
So how did your case progress? I mean, did CPS investigate and you go to court, or what happened?
I got out, there was a lady, I forgot they told me her name is Bianco, and she was there saying that I was a violent criminal and a cartel daughter and all this stuff, which is not true. My dad is not a cartel. I don't even know cartel people.
Yeah.
I don't know where they would get that. I was really scared. I mean, I didn't know where she was even getting this information. I told the attorney guy, if you could please just tell him who my family is. They're not those people.
Yeah.
And he said that he was going to get tell him that I needed my kids back, which he did. He did tell him that, I think she needs her kids back. She doesn't have a violent record or even a record at all. And she's a student, and so she's telling him these things like, I mean, she doesn't have any kind of record like this. I don't know where this lady's coming up with this, but because a agent wrote on there that I told him I didn't have anywhere for the kids to go, and I told him that I was going to hurt this woman by sea or somewhere. I don't even know who this woman is or where. I mean, she looked like a homeless person. I'm not, you know, like I don't know, like maybe under a bridge, maybe I don't know. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
She didn't look like she had a home.
So
yeah. And, you know, like she might have been on, you know, the drugs or something. But you know, I would never threaten somebody, and I'm not a person that wants to go out and start fights with people. That is just ridiculous. And I don't know where this lady got this information, but it is very, very like far from who I am. And if somebody would have just did their job and investigated by looking at the camera and not just taking this person's word for it, then they would have clearly seen that was not the case at all. I told them, hey, you can get gas.
Okay.
So yeah, it was just, I don't know. Ever since then, they've just been like stonewalling me and not letting me see my kids, and my kids are just crying all the time.
Yeah. Wow.
So I mean, they're just not used to being around different kind of people either. You know, they're very used to kind of, I mean, they're very sheltered, I guess I should say, and they're not used to being around a lot of different kind of people, like different avenues of people. And you know, you're going to get that in a foster home.
Yeah, you're right. You're right.
Yeah. So all walks of life, you know, will come through a foster door. So, but my daughter has been complaining about a lot of different things, and my son said that he was being punched by an older kid, and he's an older foster kid who was punching him, and I tried to report that, and she said that they're totally fine. She checked on them, but then when I talked to my son, he said that nobody ever went over there. He never talked to anybody.
Okay.
So just I don't know what to do now.
Well, what is the status of your case?
They said that I'm going to, let me see. It's like we're part of the case where they like find out if it's true or not, or come at me with all their allegations or proof that they have. I don't know what proof they would have except for made up stuff.
Well, did you know about getting an attorney?
Yes, I had an attorney for a while, and then now I have a lawyer. And
what's the difference between an attorney? What's the difference between an attorney and a lawyer? I'm confused.
Well, I had an attorney for the county.
Oh, you had a court-appointed attorney, a court-appointed.
Yes, I had one of those.
Yeah, that was the worst nightmare you get, because when you use a court-appointed attorney, they work for CPS and they don't fight for your case. And they will, I know that, and they will end up setting you off in a bad mode. So by the time you get a real attorney, your case is really screwed up.
My lawyer said that he could tell right away that it's totally, whatever they wrote in those papers is definitely not what's going on with me.
I'm talking to my son. I have two of my boys, two of my 6 children, and one's getting married soon. So when he gets married, he said he'll move out. But he won't do. I mean, it is hard when you have family. You know, I'm very blessed to have 7 children and 42 years of marriage and 61 years of life skills. So I've been around the world a bunch of times. I've lived in a lot of exotic places for 25 years. So anyway, so where's your case at the moment? What's your status for your case at the moment?
Now that I have a lawyer, I just started getting papers. I never once received any paperwork. So now
Did you request the paperwork from them? They're supposed to send you the paperwork.
they never did. I even went down to the post office and was like, hey, is there something going on with my mail? And they're like, no,
Okay.
we haven't received
Have you
any
tried
mail.
to go to the court clerk to get copies of all the paperwork?
Yes, I did. I did get copies of everything.
Good, because they're supposed to do that. So when you read
Yeah.
it,
I mean, I had to fight for tooth and nail, and I mean, I feel dumb now, but I really did believe that they were like going to do their job and going to do what's right as a, you know, a CPS workers. I don't really know too much about CPS workers, but I mean, I guess they aren't all good.
no, they're not. That's the problem. 50% of the child protection systems are corrupt or rogue. And that's whether you,
Yeah,
in all
I
part of the
see
United
clearly that there's
States,
ropes.
all part of the United States or worldwide. I have over 2,500 people that have talked to me. And I have people from 22 countries that told me how bad CPS is. I mean, some of these
Oh my
countries, you know, are from uh, Rwanda and Republic of Congo, Indonesia, Bangladesh, Libya, United Saudi Arabia, um,
Oh,
United Kingdom. I can go on and on. Canada, all 50 states, including Washington D.C., which is not a state. Australia, New Zealand, and Grenada down in South America, Mexico. It goes on and on and on. You're going to run into the rogue or bad ones. And the problem being is that if you don't have a good attorney, you're going to lose your case because they're determined to make you fail because they want to get money. They want to get money and alienate your children from you. And they'll drag it on as long as they can. And they'll make up
yeah,
excuses
well,
and lie.
they just made a big excuse. And the bad thing is that my children are being abused in this foster home.
Typically, they are. Not
And
all foster parents are good parents. And sometimes in foster home, the kids are abused. I know how hard that must be.
it's just, I don't understand why they wouldn't, like, get them out of there. I would just, I don't know. That's what I would do as a caseworker. I would just, as a CPS worker, I would be like, no, that's not what's going to happen here.
Okay. Okay.
But I guess they don't. I guess they just keep them there because it's too much paperwork to move them. I don't know.
Well, no, they are in there for the money, and they get $25,000 per child per month. If he's autistic or special needs child, they get additional 15,000. So that's 15 plus 25. That's $40,000 per month. It doesn't take $40,000 a month to take care of a child, to feed them, to clothe
No.
them, to that is ridiculous.
Yeah, and especially since I'm the one who's bringing their clothes. But I buy their clothes because they say that they don't have it.
Yeah, yeah. Okay.
But
Well,
yeah, they said now I had my court date, and so they said now that they're trying to tell me that I didn't take my parenting classes, which I took a parenting class.
do you have your
But then they said put me on a
certificates?
case
Do you
plan. I'm
have your
like, I didn't have anything.
certificates? Do you have your certificates?
Yes, I do.
Okay. You need to get all your documents and document. You need to have a notebook, an oversized 3-ring notebook. You need to stuff it full
Yeah,
of
everything is done.
you need to stuff it full of tabs so you can organize it. You got to have one area for your documents of your parenting classes. You have to have one area for documents of any drug testing you're taking. One area for your court
Yeah,
papers. One area for your social
I
workers, for your case plan. You need to organize that and keep all the documentation. There are 2 documents you need to create. One is called a journal that you're talking to your kids. And every day you're gone or separated from them, you write down all your thoughts and feelings. And you have that journal to give to your kids so they not forget you. Also, you need another piece of paper to track all your incidents. Every time you have an incident with a social worker or police or school or whatever you have an incident with, you need to write down either a phone number or where you met before the incident. And then you got to write down the date and time and the people involved. Your next sentence is a summary of what the incident was about, just a 1-sentence summary. And then your third thing is you have to put the outcome of your incident. And you don't have the outcome, you can come and fill it out later, but leave some space. And that's all you have to do. And in 6 months, you'll have thorough knowledge of all the incidents and you'll be able to fight your case. And you want to follow their their health and safety plan. If you disagree with something, you draw a line through it, initial it.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know why I had to take 13 drug tests. That's kind of weird since I don't do drugs, and I didn't get
Well,
arrested for
if they
drugs.
come
But
back, they're just because they get to collect the money. You see, they get money for that.
oh,
They get $250 for each drug test.
oh God.
If they do a psychologist report, they get another $250.
Well, they didn't say anything about a psychological
Well, they always
side
try to
to it.
get you on psychological matters. Maybe you don't exhibit enough for them to question that.
Yeah, they didn't ask for that. They just asked for a drug test, and they asked for if I'm going to a counselor, and they wanted me to take a anger management class. I'm like, what? I'm not an intuitive person. I'll take the class, but that's really weird.
Yes, I can imagine it is. Wow.
I just feel like pulling things out of a hat. Like, here's one. Here's something else.
Hello, Carrie Sampson. She had called me this morning. She's called me tonight, but she wants to talk to me. Her case is going worse and worse and worse. She has a criminal case and a CPS case. And I think she said it turned really sour today. Carrie, if you're listening to me, could you type in what you're talking about or what you need help on, Carrie? I'm here to help you, Carrie. We have on the phone uh, uh, Susan, or not Susan, Celia. We have on the phone Celia, and she's been talking about her strange case in Riverside where a woman tried to attack her, and then the police are doing nothing about it, and they're trying to drag her children into the child protection system. And it's wrong because Riverside is corrupt as well as San Bernardino.
Yeah, I can see that. Yeah. Um, I mean, I don't know who it is, but somebody's been following me when I do my route now.
Okay, Carrie, she can't afford an attorney. I feel for you. And you're going to fight your best. You need to tell whoever's fighting for you that they need to do their job. You need to kick them in the seat of the pants and tell them if they don't perform, you'll sue them for negligence. And furthermore, you report them to the State Bar of Georgia for failure, for negligence, for failure to defend your case. Carrie, you really got to work your court appointed attorney. Um, Now, Carrie further says, because what I learned for the last couple of months, it's is no one's going to fight for your kids without you. You're right. You're right. You got to fight for your kids yourself. And the attorney is a tool. But if you're not fighting for your kids, then your tool won't work. You got to be a fighter and you got to face reality. Your kids will come back. But you got to be careful what you say or talk to CPS.
Yeah, no doubt.
Because they use whatever you tell them against you. Now, we've been talking now for 56 minutes, so it gets me to the point where I'm going to have to end our show. I have a running time of
Oh,
59 minutes, and I can only talk an
okay.
hour. Those are my rules of my live stream. But I don't want you to feel that you can come back again tomorrow, Celia, tomorrow morning at 8 o'clock. Today is Friday, Friday the 15th of August. Tomorrow is the 16th. I'll be on again at 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's 8 o'clock tomorrow morning. So, all of you, I want you to invite you back. Carrie, hang in there. I'm praying for you tonight. And I really thank you. Carrie is from Georgia. We have Dorothy Cook, who comes in the room to help me. She's from North Carolina. And we have we have Celia on the phone, who's been talking to me for the past little while here. and she is from the Lake Elsinore area in Riverside County. And she sounds like a really stable mom, but she was accosted by someone trying to attack her, and I guess it's all going the wrong way for her. We have Aaron from Tennessee. I'm glad to see you, Aaron. You're part of my family. And Celia, you're now part of my family, so I expect to see you. And Project Store is Anna, and you're from there. But I got to end my show because I got dinner for my family. I got dinner for my family. So it was really a pleasure meeting you, Celia. I'm ending my show, and I'm going to see you all tomorrow at 8 o'clock in the morning. Please keep fighting for your kids. I'm going to put up the Doge information because some of you have to go all the way to the top. That's where the buck stops. And so there'll be a brief video when I hang up that you'll hear. All right. So again, this is Celia and Bob signing off. God bless you. And please listen to the short video. Good night.
A vivid picture is encrypted in your mind as the critics get in line like they're witnessing a crime. But then you notice there's a shiver in your spine from the feelings of discontentment and bitterness combined. Heartbroken when you listen to the judges, another kid's innocence corrupted. And if you go against it, it's destructive. Consider this predicament the toughest, but we believe in a system fit for justice. Child Protective Services only pretends to save it. The one solution for this is worthy of instant praises. 30 years of experience with relentless cases. Allow me to introduce them. This is Vincent Davis defending you when they don't think a mother fits the role. Is it juvenile dependency or government control? Observe the pain in their eyes. It's time for us to realize we are the last one.